Hi there, my name is Blair Reich. I'm a PhD. I like to go study this thing called the Mandela Effect. I put together a paper entitled Exploring the Mandela Effect, Experienced and Recalled Reality for 25,210 survey respondents versus current recorded history. So I put together a questionnaire. I got it out through Facebook to 25,000 people. And then I looked at a lot of the responses that they got back. I haven't recorded all of them in this document, but one of the ones that struck out to me was I asked people, is there anything else you want to tell me? And some people said, yeah, there are actually some other Mandela effects that I've seen. So I thought I would go and put one of the ones that's in here that I ultimately remember too, and this is about Mr. Rogers. So this is what we're looking at here is a quote by one of the people that took the survey. It very well could be false memories. Perhaps the creepiest ones was with Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. My mother ran a daycare when I was in school. The show was on all the time. It was always, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. That is one that I would swear to. Theoretically, it could be a false memory. I do, however, try to keep an open mind about everything, regardless of the subject. And so that's when, this whole Mandela Effect thing is that people remember something, but then when they go and actually look it up or watch it, it's totally different. Now, right now we're just talking about one of the kind of simple Mandela Effect ones where it's like a movie song or a movie title or a show line, things like that, things that aren't super consequential. I'm going to keep doing these kind of short videos, and you'll see that some of the changes are actually quite large, placements of continents, that prime meridian has moved, the human anatomy has changed, that history is now different. There's just lots of these weird things that are completely different than what I remember them being. So I wanted, this time we're just kind of showcasing Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Before we kind of blow your mind with some of the big ones, let's just go into some of the little guys. So here's, this is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood intro song. Let's go watch, fast forwarded it a bit. Let's go watch what he says.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
So it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood? Listen to that again. It just feels so foreign.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
See, the problem to me is that with the difference between this and it's not just like an article changed. It changes the meaning of the song. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood means that he's only singing about his neighborhood. Like your neighborhood might be a horrible day and you live somewhere terrible and nobody wants to be there. But when it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, it's like everybody is experiencing this great neighborhood and we're all sort of part of it. And so to me, just the line, this doesn't make any sense. And I remember hearing this over and over. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I used to watch this show a lot. Okay, so now when you're looking for, is this a Mandela effect or not, one of the things you look for is something called reality residue, where there's some examples of where the line is what it used to be, or what I recall, or what large groups of people recall. So here, this is Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. Eddie Murphy ran a whole bunch of skits that were back in the 1980s that were spoofs on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, where Eddie Murphy's living in a ghetto, and his version is Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood. So let's go check out his intro song.
Would you be mine?
So you might not have heard that. Let's go back again because the audience kind of interrupts it. So you actually enunciates pretty clearly. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So another one of these that I could find is Daniel Tiger. So Daniel Tiger is like a puppet that's in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and PBS put together Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which is basically meant to be the replacement for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It's even got neighborhood in the song or the name of the show, so you know that they're connected. So let's go listen to this.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
So again, this thing is pretty clear. Listen one more time.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It's not this. So that's what's so surprising. No, it's not surprising, but that's what makes this Mandela Effect thing so crazy, is that, both Mr. Robinson and Daniel Tiger are sort of memes off of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And in that original song, apparently he's now singing It's a Beautiful Day in This Neighborhood. And yet in the two memes of Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood and Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, it sings more like the original that lots of people remember of It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. So, the challenge, of course, is this the symptom or the cause of the Mandela effect? So if it's a cause, these things are so ubiquitous that everybody remembers the line incorrectly because they've confused it with Mr. Rogers or Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, or they've confused it with Daniel Tiger. But people aren't saying, I've recently been watching Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood and Mr. Rogers and I can't remember it. What they say is, when I was young, I remember watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and the line was always, It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And so, in just this one article, it's hard to say, well, this is absolute proof. I'm looking at a bunch of data from a bunch of surveys that people have taken and trying to compare it against controls. And some of that's outside the scope of this. But is this irrefutable proof that this is a Mandela effect? No, but this is, I just wanted to draw the community's attention to, here's a really good example of there's two different versions of reality residue that conflict with Mr. Rogers. And to me, with some of the other background knowledge that I have of other of these cases, it fits into this pattern of things are very different than what they were before. And that's worth looking into. Is it memory? Pretty sure it's not. Is it, what if it's not memory, if it's not people just simply mishearing things, what is it? I have no idea. That's very confusing. And that to me is a central question, but things are definitely different. There you go. Have a good one.